How to sell anything to anybody, the best sales tips and tricks. Hey, do you need to sell? We all need to sell. Everybody needs to sell. You're selling your ideas to your kids, you're selling, your employees and what they should do. You're just always selling. Okay, if you're a waiter, you got to sell that dinner. We all need to sell, but how do you do it? In this video, I'm going to show you those little secret tips and tricks that make you an incredible salesperson super fast, and we're starting right now. Hey, thanks for visiting my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down there and turn on all bell notifications. Okay, turn on notifications so that you will know every single time I do a new video, so that you will know anytime I go live, so we could talk. That'd be pretty cool. You'd be part of the Fisher family, the VIP group that gets notified before anybody else. Don't forget to put comments below. Let me know what you think about selling. Have you sold before? Have you seen a good salesperson? What do you think a good salesperson is? Put those comments below. I would love to hear them. I've also included with this video a course. The course is a $97 course, but wait, there's a link below. You can get it absolutely free. Go ahead and click on it and learn at the end of this video. All right, let's jump right into the selling thing. Okay, selling is telling, and selling is a story. The more you can intertwine a story into your sales technique, whether it's a sales page, whether it's a face-to-face meeting, whether it's an online phone call, doesn't matter what it is, the more you can intertwine a story, the better off you're going to be. People love stories. Number one rule is make it about them. Have you ever had one of those friends where you get into a conversation with them, and no matter what you start a story on, they turn it around to them and start talking about them every single time? It's the most irritating thing in the world. Now, what I've figured out over the years is if you act interested in somebody, genuinely interested, their family, their friends, what they do for a living, and you actually ask them questions about their lives and what's going on, you're going to form this bond. This bond's going to be really close because you're actually acting interested in them. Number two, do your research before talking to your prospect. Now, in this time of social media, if you've got an individual prospect, I'm not talking about a full niche of people, but if you've got an individual person, you can look them up on social media. You can look them up on LinkedIn. You can look them up on Twitter, on Facebook. You can find out, do they like boating? Do they like fishing? Are they into the arts? Where have they been on vacation? And do a little research on them, so that when you do talk to them, you can say, hey, I noticed that you're interested in this, or would you be interested in fishing? I like fishing. Is that something that you think is cool? Already knowing that you saw that on their Facebook page, it's really important to get some background on them so you can build more and more rapport, and rapport is something that sells. And number three, since we're talking about it, build rapport first. This is the first thing you need to do. If you don't build rapport, it's going to be really hard for you to get the sale. Don't immediately start talking about your product and services. Start talking about them. You could talk about the weather. You could talk about what part of town they live in, what kind of food they like, what kind of restaurants they go to, any of these things that are not politically motivated. Okay, that's a really bad subject to build rapport on, guys, because you never know what direction politics can go. But any of these things that have to do with their life, are they married? Are they single? Do they have kids? If they do have kids, start asking questions. What schools they go to. Are they involved in sports? Show interest in this person. If you do this, it's going to help you tremendously. It's really hard for somebody to say no to somebody who they consider a friend. It's really easy for them to say no to somebody who's just a salesperson and a stranger. So befriend these people and get to know them a little bit prior to going for your close. Number four, define and qualify your buyer. Your buyer of your product, no matter what the product is, probably will have certain traits. They'll have certain things they like to do. They'll have certain kinds of cars they drive, kind of homes they live in, family structures, hobbies, those type of things. Get to know those things so you can further build rapport with them. In doing so, it's going to be so much easier for you to sell your product. Number five, contribute first, sell second. And here's what I mean by that. You are there to really serve them. You are there to solve their problems. You are there to get rid of pain. So whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, maybe you're selling a weight loss program. If you're trying to sell a weight loss program, I would sit there and talk to them about great foods they can eat that will actually, you know, lower calories, make them feel better, give them more energy, but they could still eat foods they like. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to contribute, you want to help them out with things before you sell their product. Now maybe diet isn't even part of your exercise program or losing weight. Maybe your exercise program is entirely different from what they're eating and all that, but if you give them some value up front, then of course they're going to be very interested in your exercise program. I know on this channel right here I do training and I give you information on how to make money online, things you can do, and I give you this stuff because I know a portion of you are going to want more training. You're going to pick up one of my courses, you're going to buy something from me. Will the majority of you? No, but everybody gets some free stuff up front, and I think by giving that free stuff up front we do build that rapport, and it makes you more likely to want to buy some of my stuff. Number 6, here's a huge one, guys, huge. Ask questions and then actually listen. Okay, too often salespeople will ask questions and they don't really listen. They don't listen to the feedback. They don't know what's important to people. If you ask questions and actually listen to them and they see that you're actually listening, and here's a trick about listening. So many people will ask a question, the prospect will answer, and then they cut them off before the prospects finish talking. So what I tell people to do is have a 3-second pause. It's a long pause, 3 seconds a long time, but ask somebody a question, let them respond, and then count silently to yourself 1 2 3. Now what's going to happen in that 3-second pause is you'll find some of the people weren't finished talking and they just had a little pause, and had you started talking you would have cut them off. You'll also find another portion of the people that will say, oh my gosh, that's a little uncomfortable, he's not saying anything, I need to talk more. And when they start to talk more after that pause, they're going to be super honest about everything because they're just a little bit nervous. And then the third group of people will at the end of that pause go, wow, this person's actually listening to me, they're actually asking questions and they care about what I've got to say, and you're going to end up building more rapport. Now if you go through that exercise, congratulations, you are now a better listener, and probably a better listener than most people you'll ever meet in your life. Next up, I want you to be mindful of psychological cues. Now psychological cues are things that make your mind go in a particular direction. The first ones are anchoring cues. Anchoring cues are the first things that guide us when we first start talking to somebody. So your initial impression on them, your initial things that you say are going to guide the rest of this. And it's been said, you know, there's no chance for a second impression. So the first few seconds of what you say can make a huge difference in the direction of the sales. The next step is rhyme as reason effect. Now that sounds kind of silly, but what it means is rhyming statements actually have a better selling technique than non-rhyming statements. This has been proven in ads for many years, and they've been used in television commercials and jingles and written things, but rhymes tend to make people want to buy a whole lot quicker. The next thing that we want to look into is loss aversion. What is loss aversion? Loss aversion is people are very concerned about loss. They're very concerned about loss. Okay, so if you're selling life insurance, you know, they're going to be thinking about, you know, what's going to happen to my family, and if you bring up all those things, what's going to happen to your family, what losses are they going to incur if something were to happen to you? That's going to really anchor in their brain and make them more likely to buy your product. The next up is the peak at end rule, and what I mean by that is when you do your sales presentation, whether it's a sales letter online, whether it's a, you know, a sales video online, or whether you're talking one-on-one with somebody, it should have a real upbeat at the end, something really exciting, something really fun, and something cool and new and different, and something that's going to make a change in that person's life. Number 8, approach them on their level. Now what I mean by this is that when you're selling to somebody, you don't want to sell above them. It's ideal if you can sell exactly on their level, you know, their level of knowledge, their level of expertise, their level of everything, you know, income, home, everything. But if you go above that, if you talk down to them in any way, you're going to really lose a lot of sales. If you go a little bit below that, you're still okay, you're okay. Talk to the lowest level of the person that you think you have in front of you. Now that doesn't mean to talk in a remedial fashion. That just means don't try to sound superior when you're selling somebody. It's the best way to lose a sale. You also, on number 9, you want to hit emotional aspects. There's a lot of emotional aspects. You know, there's greed, there's gain, there's fear, there's altruism, but you want to make sure you're hitting in some of those aspects in every sales presentation, whether it's a video sales letter, whether it's a sales letter on a page, whether it's an email. You want to try to hit some of those. Number 10, remember you're selling to a person. Okay, don't try to be a big corporation, don't try to be a big company. People don't buy from companies, they buy from individuals. I can't count how many times they say, you know, a customer will have bought from a company for 20 years and once their sales rep left, they quit buying from that company and they went someplace else. So they're really buying from that individual. If you remember this and you talk to them on a human level like you would one of your friends, you're going to do a whole lot better than if you set yourself up on a pedestal and pretend like you're better than them or you're this big corporation and they need to listen to you. I would much rather listen to a friend than some superior person that's telling me what I should do. Okay, that turns me off entirely. If you incorporate that friendship into your emails, into your sales copy, into your one-on-one talking, you're going to do a whole lot better. Okay, so those are the steps I wanted to cover with you. I think they're going to do you a lot of good. I've used them for many years. They've helped me out a whole lot and they'll help you out too. If you haven't been good at sales before, it doesn't mean you won't be good at sales now or in the future. Anything, any skill can be learned. You're not born with any of these skills. It's not part of your personality. These are actually planned acts that you do that will improve your sales if you use them. I'm telling you, use these in your emails, use these in your sales page, use these on your one-on-one, you know, conversations with people, and you will get good results. Now, if you want some more training, I have a course below. It's a $97 course. You can get it absolutely free for a limited time. All you have to do is click and learn. It's below in the description. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. You gotta hit the big subscribe button right here next to it. There's a bell. You want to hear it? Here it is. There's a bell right here. Yeah, that bell's right next to the subscribe button. It won't even appear until you hit the subscribe button. Don't go looking for the bell until you subscribe. It won't be there. But once it's there, you got to hit it. You got to turn on all notifications so that you become part of the Fisher family, the VIP group that gets notified every single time I do one of these videos. I really appreciate you listening. And if you really want to increase your sales online and improve your business, check out this video right here. You're going to love it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.